I keep all my lettuce bags nice and cool, so when I put them out, they're not like sitting all wilty. I'm a former executive chef turned urban farmer, and I spent over 20 years in the restaurant industry, working my way up from a dishwasher to the executive chef of a 3,000 room resort with a golf course and convention center attached. And after that, I worked at K-Tom Restaurant Supply, selling commercial refrigeration and restaurant equipment for 5 years while I built my farm on the weekends. I've held multiple certifications, including ServSafe Food Storage and Sanitation, plus Certified Food Service Professional from the National Association of Food Equipment Manufacturers, which basically means I know how to store food properly. And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how I store produce on my small farm to maximize shelf life and quality. I'll show you my refrigeration setup, including 2 commercial reach-ins I use daily. I'll talk about the exact models that work for me, plus some other options that might better fit your context. I'll also take you inside my DIY mobile refrigerated trailer. I built it myself for bulk storage, but also to be able to bring 200 cubic feet of refrigeration with me to the farmer's market, so I never lose any product, even on those hot summer days here in Tennessee. And we're not sitting there trying to sell like a bunch of stuff that looks like crap, you know? Then we'll break down the small stuff, the specific totes I use and why, and the bags I use to pack salad greens for restaurant sales and farmers markets. And those bags are my only packaging cost, because we deliver everything in reusable totes. And stick around to the end, because I'm going to show you the maintenance secret that'll keep your refrigeration running for the long haul. It'll save you from calling a refrigeration repair guy who's going to charge you $350 just to come out and tell you what I'm about to show you for free. Yo, what up, Gromies? Welcome back to Chef's Harvest Farm. If you're new here, I'm Chef Mikey. I'm a former executive chef turned urban farmer, and I grow organic vegetables for local chefs and restaurants here in Knoxville, Tennessee. So I'm down here in my wash pack station today. These are my 2 reach-in refrigerators. I'll give you the dime tour. We're gonna check out all these totes, but first let's go check out the refrigerated trailer. Alright, so this is the CoolBot trailer, and I built it myself, and basically it's just a 5x8 trailer that I gutted the inside out and I spray foam insulated the inside, and then I just like cut a hole in it and mounted an AC unit here. Then on the inside there's a CoolBot controller, and the controller just goes in and it tricks the AC unit into thinking that it's warmer than it actually is. And this AC unit's big enough to cool down like a, I think, 25 by 25 room. The whole thing cost me about $4,000 to build, and it's mobile. It's on wheels, so I can just take it with me to the farmer's market, so my product stays cold. I have 200 cubic feet of refrigeration behind my booth so that I can keep my salad greens cold and fresh on my booth all the time. And one of the major benefits about this system, I mean, first off, if I move, I'm just gonna take it with me. I don't have to like break down a walk-in cooler, but like an actual walk-in cooler that's like this size or maybe a little bit bigger, because you can actually, you know, they're from the floor and the ground up, but you know, a 6x8 commercial walk-in cooler is going to run you like $15,000. However long that compressor or condensing unit lasts you, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars to replace it. Not to mention just the repair call itself. They're going to charge you $350 just to come out and tell you what's wrong. With the CoolBot system, if this thing dies, I just go down to Home Depot. I spend $200, $300 for a new AC unit. I slide this one out, and then I slide a new one in. And then I'm good for another however many years. This thing has basically been running 24/7 for about 3 years now, and I've never replaced it. All right, and so right through this door is where the refrigerated trailer lives, and this is the wash pack station where my reach-in refrigerators are in there. So we can wash pack everything, and it goes right out here into the refrigerated trailer. And then I keep all my totes right here next to the door. And I just kind of wanted to show you these totes. So I just buy them off Facebook Marketplace. This guy always sells them for like $5 each. And before, I was spending money on cardboard boxes to make deliveries in, and I was spending like $4 on a cardboard box. These ones have holes in the bottom, which works really good if I need to like wash root vegetables in the root washer, and then we just dump them right into these totes and all the water just comes out the bottom. Then we just take these totes and we stack them on top of each other in the cooler. Now you need to be careful because of this, air can get up in there. So I only use these if they're sitting on the solid floor and then stacked on top of each other. I kind of like them because they're vented, so it lets a little bit of airflow in there without like significant airflow. Like if that's exposed on a shelf in a refrigerator, that would be a big no-no, unless everything in here is in a bag. These are very similar totes, they just don't have a bottom, or they don't have holes in the bottom, and then they've got a flip top. So I really like these too. And then we could just fill that whole cooler with totes stacked up to the top with a label on the front, and that way we know what everything is when we open them. And then these are also just very similar totes, just kind of larger. Okay, so come on and I'll go show you the reach-ins now. All right, so I just wanted to go over these totes real quick because these are really my favorites, and they're pretty expensive. So like, I think like if you want to buy this tote, it's like $40, with the lid is like another $10, you know, so it's like $50. Like they're huge, right? So these are like super good for storing salad greens in them if they're not in a bag. I don't store salad greens in those other totes. The lids aren't really airtight, so when they sit in there and the air is blowing around, it's blowing air which is going under that lid, and then the top will be super wilty. But these keep things perfectly fresh, almost like the crisper drawer. Also have like a drain pan, so this has like holes, so drain pans can go in the bottom. So then that way it kind of makes it so things aren't sitting right on the bottom, and air can get underneath and circulate in there. So for instance, if you wash carrots and your carrots are soaking wet, you want to store them at 100% humidity, but you don't want them like sitting in standing water. So the drain pan allows like condensation to drip down to the bottom, but your product's not sitting in standing water. And then these lids I love because they fit right on there like that, and then they're super stackable. And then if you want a super airtight lid, you can just go like that and it snaps right on, and that's like airtight. We have these also, which are really just used for like staging product. They're just kind of nice to have around. They are also food service trays from K-Tom, but they're not super expensive. And then I just wanted to show you this guy too, which is like a strainer. So I can, like, if I'm washing product, I can just dump it in here. And then very similarly, it also just kind of like sits in this. So like if you wanted to strain something but keep the liquid, for instance, when we sanitize our garlic seed with alcohol, I dumped the garlic and the vodka back in here. So I strained out the garlic, I got my vodka back, and then we could sanitize the second variety. And this thing just comes in handy a lot. I really love it because I can just like throw it, strain something out on the sink, and then I can just put it in here for storage, snap a lid on top, and then that keeps it from drying out. I'll just turn you around here because I'll show you how these commercial reach-ins, I would never use like a residential refrigerator for commercial food storage, like storing produce off a farm. And the big reason is that they're just not made to store totes, right? So all these shelves are completely adjustable, so you can move these up, and then they're just super removable too. So if I don't want shelves, I can just stack totes up in here and the door closes perfectly. So like 16 by 28 inches is like standard food service tray size. So like these totes just fit right in there perfectly, so you can close the door. You see what I mean? And then if I wanted to stack a bunch on top of each other, then they just stack pretty good. And so this one's very similar, but instead of like fitting the long ways, they just fit sideways. You see what I mean? Okay, so both of what I have here is what you would call a single door reach-in refrigerator. This one is stainless steel. This one is just kind of white painted. So this one's a few $100s more, and this one's about the cheapest commercial refrigerator you can buy. So they're the Motak brand, which is K-Tom's house brand. Motak is just K-Tom spelled backwards. They also come in a 2-door version and a 3-door version if you needed bigger commercial reach-in refrigeration than I do here. This brand works really good for me. These have both been down here for about 5 years, running strong with very minimal maintenance. I'll show you the maintenance at the end of this video. And they work really good for me because I keep them in the basement of my house, where the temperature just kind of stays between like 60 and 75 degrees. If you were in a restaurant, these would be for like low duty, not heavy duty commercial use, where the doors are getting opened like all day, every day, getting slammed. It's a hot, greasy environment. These are not going to perform well in that type of environment. One thing you always want to be cautious of when you put stuff in a commercial refrigerator like this, especially if we're talking produce, you always want to have it covered with a lid or in a bag. You never just want to put produce on the shelf in a refrigerator like this. And the reason why is this fan is constantly blowing. So it's just blowing cold air in there and circulating it. And that air is what's going to make your produce wilty. So it always has to be in a tote or covered. So before I had the refrigerated trailer, I made it through my first full season as a market gardener with just these 2 reach-in refrigerators, and I'd pack everything in there, and I'd come down here in the morning and I'd pack up all these coolers with my stuff for the farmer's market, and then I'd bring these coolers with me to the farmer's market. But my biggest bottleneck was that was my limitation as to how much I could bring to the market with me. If I couldn't fit it in these coolers, which fit in the back of my truck, then I didn't have room to bring it. Okay, and then so last I want to talk about the bags. So these are like what we use for 2-pound bags. And then I'll leave the link if you want to check them out. And we pack all our restaurant orders in those. And then I use these bags for 1/2-pound bags for farmer's market. Just put my totes full of clean greens here. I got all my packaging materials up here, so my bags and everything. I'm just packing up a few bags for one of my farmer's market customers. He's a doctor, and I live near the hospital. So I just pack up these 1/2-pound bags for the market. I fill them up like a balloon, right? I want the air in there. That really helps the shelf life to have a little extra air in there. And then, so I fill it up like a balloon, I twist it, and I got my little bag taper here, and then I just taped it closed, and that's it. And then this is the digital scale that we use to bag up all of our like 2-pound bags and 1/2-pound bags for restaurants. And then this is like a dial scale. So now I'm going to show you the #1 reason that commercial refrigeration fails and how you can prevent it. So today we're actually going to do some maintenance on it, and it's really good for me to show you here because it's like really easy to see. But then I'll take you and we'll also do the refrigerators inside too, which are the reach-ins, which is the same kind of process of maintaining them and keeping them clean. So it's like a living, breathing thing, you could think of it, right? So it's constantly sucking air in here and all this stuff that blocks it so air can't get in there. And that's the #1 reason that refrigerators fail. First, we'll just take a leaf blower and blow this all out. Then we're going to pull the whole AC unit out, just vacuum everything out and get it all cleaned up. So the whole thing really needs to be washed, but it's like the middle of winter. The high temperature today is like 30.
Haircut.
Okay, so that's it. That took us about 20 minutes. And if you do that once a year, if you're like a real all-star, do it 2 or 3 times a year. I've had this thing running strong, like I said, like 3 years, and I just do this once a year. And I think we're good to go. I've never had any trouble. I don't see any trouble coming out of it anytime soon. So I'll take you in. Let's go do the reach-in refrigerators inside. Okay, and then so like these are like kind of the same thing, right? Like I like to think of them as like living, breathing organisms. If they can no longer breathe, then they're gonna die. We're gonna get in there with the shop vac and we're gonna find the condensing coil where it's like sucking the air in. And I've got this like attachment and we'll just kind of brush those coils off. And so that it just kind of keeps it free and breathing nice, and that's it. Okay, so this is the condensing coil that we're looking for. And like you can see, it's just like a little bit dirty. Like it's like we keep it relatively clean down here. It's good to just, we're gonna vacuum it off today and then we're gonna be good. For us, we just kind of do this once a year. If you're like in a dirtier environment or a greasy environment like a restaurant, you definitely wanna do this like quarterly, every 3 months or so. So just a side note, if you do order any of these refrigerators, just be aware that they show up on a tractor trailer truck. The tractor trailer driver is just like a UPS driver. He's just gonna drop it off and you're gonna be 100% responsible for getting it into your station or wherever you're gonna keep it, unpackaging it, setting it up. If you don't have a forklift or a way to move it, then you're gonna have to pay for liftgate service, which is when the truck actually lowers it to the ground. I think they charge like $50 for that service. So just be aware of that if you do go purchasing any of these recommended products. If you'd like to see how I built the refrigerated trailer from scratch, you can check out this video here. And if you'd like to see more about the wash pack station and how we wash salad greens every week, you can check out this video right here. I appreciate y'all for being here and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys. Peace.